And we are live. Hi, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Hi.
How are we?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Excited. So, for those of you who've tuned in live to watch us, thank you so much for being here. We're still trying to get Smriti on it. Um, Ina, could you just ping her and let her know how to get on and where she got it? Because she's like, I'm not getting anything. Meanwhile, we're trying to figure out if this works or look how pretty it is. It's the gorgeous sunset and the amazing garden.
That's pretty. Lovely. What a beautiful view, huh?
I know, right? It's my
Nice.
broadcasting. Business done everywhere.
Absolutely.
I
How much does that contribute to you, right? Yeah.
I was there with my brother and his wife, and I was just like, "Listen, we gotta do this. Give me your room keys." So I'm now sitting out of the famous Taj Apollo Bandar and doing a hangout from their room. How did I get so lucky?
Wow. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And we are sitting here in Delhi. And Ina in Gurgaon. Wow.
So hi everyone again, and today we're talking about joy of business and Simone Milesis and everything that she's been creating with Access, with her own business, and we just wanted to get you a taste of the taste that we've had of her. I mean, we've all, I think, been in Access about a couple of years and have at some point used the tools of joy of business for ourselves and for our businesses, and to a certain extent, even our lives,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing, amazing transformation, at least personally for me, and I'm sure the girls will also tell you what all's changed for them. But it's been absolutely, absolutely amazing. So, Chandana, I'd love to
Yeah.
start with you.
Okay.
And what are the joy of business? What does business mean to you, and what does joy of business mean to you?
What does business mean to me? Well, interestingly, actually, Tulika, business was always like, the means to an end. Like
Yeah.
trying to create something to generally make money. And, it was like a limitation at that time for me, right? It was like, it would get boring after a while because, okay, now I've got the money coming in. Now it's all happening. Now what? Kind of got boring. So then there was no excitement left. Like initially when the business would start, there would be a lot of excitement. There would be a whole lot of stuff rolling in, and then suddenly it was all gone. So I think that's what the joy of business totally changed. Because for me, I would start something, it would last for a year, to do really well. I would bring whole lot of money in and then gone. But but I think joy of business totally changed that, because that's when literally the joy came into the business and the business became joyful. It was no longer a means to an end.
Right.
It became creation at every step.
So, I'm gonna keep asking you stuff. I'm liking this conversation. So you would
Okay.
sort of stop stuff, right? You would begin at some point and be like,
Yeah.
okay, that's it. Now I'm bored and now I want to do something
Yes.
else.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's something that even I personally have done a lot is start something, stop something, start something, then start
Yeah.
something completely different, and then stop it, and then start it.
That's
Um,
it. Yes.
yeah, and I would really judge myself for that. I would sit there and be like, I can't finish anything. I can't bring,
Yeah.
according to my dad, never bring anything to any logical conclusion. But
Yes.
isn't that how we all got to where we are today? By even if we did 100 things and we stopped it. And more than anything else, I think somewhere when the joy left, how many times we actually started things that maybe we did not want to start. And this is something that Simone talks about a lot, is like before you get into a partnership or before you get into a job or a business or anything, is that something you truly want to create? Is that something that's truly inviting for you and something that's going to create you for your life? Or are you just doing it because it's a good opportunity and not a great possibility? Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think when it's a great, like you said, when it's a great opportunity. What did you just say? The last line, which was fabulous. Just can you repeat that once again?
Is it a great possibility or is it just an opportunity?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. So when it's an opportunity, you start without thinking.
Right.
And you just do it because you know you can do it. But that possibility, that's I think what starts when you start asking those questions that Simone talks about,
Yeah.
which we are not taught to do in business. You're just supposed to know everything. And if
Right.
you don't know, you're not a good enough businessman. So they're
Right.
the conclusions that we kind of operate from. And then suddenly enjoy business. It's all about, hey, what else is possible? There's like wonder in that excitement in that new business. I think that's what really changes so much. And the possibilities just kind of start opening at every step. And when you start to operate from that responsibility of not even responsibility, from that knowing that okay, it's a choice, and if I really want it to work, it will. I think that's the great difference as compared to doing business from just an opportunity, and okay, it's come and then it didn't go through, and then you'll end up looking to blame somebody,
Absolutely.
or the country, or the business rules of the country, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
blame game begins.
Yes. Yes. So true. So true. Yeah.
Did we manage to get Smriti on, Ina?
I am not being able to. Oh, there she sent me a mail.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm trying to email it again. So you guys continue. I'm loving this conversation.
Let's see what else is possible.
What else is possible?
So is there any tool that you used? And I'll tell you then later what I
Yeah.
actually started up using and what really changed for me. But is there any specific tool that you used to enjoy your business, from anything that Simone might have said to you, or the book? If you read the book.
Yes, I read the book and I went to the first class, the Joy of Business 101, which I'm looking forward to attending again, because when I went to that class, it changed everything for me. The one tool that actually I suggest that to everybody, whether you're in a business, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a doctor, whatever, wherever you're working, I think treating that business or that profession, giving it treating it as a person instead of just treating it as a business is a huge thing for me. It's like, talking to the business and asking the business what it would like instead of assuming what it wants and what it needs. And instead when you start asking questions of the business is when you start getting that awareness of what is actually required from that business. I think that changed so much for me when I was working and I was doing my little stuff here and there. It just totally changed because that's when it had a different life to itself. And then you start working in oneness with it, being with the business and creating together. That's what changed for me. That was one tool that I would like to hand out to everybody from the book, from the class. Yeah. And what about you, Tulika? What is yours? What would you think was yours? I'd love to know yours, babes.
Actually, I'm such a big fan of Simone. She's one of the first people that I met in Access. I did a class with Gary some years ago. It was in Mumbai. It was in level 2, and she was the first time Gary came to India, and she happened to be right next to the bed that I was. And obviously, I had no clue she was Simone. You're absolutely new in Access. You have no idea who anybody
Yeah,
is.
so true.
And do you know that she's such an invitation? So she was never like, we swapped the entire time. I think we exchanged bars because I was right on the bed next to her, and we spoke about everything and all of that. And we just got really sally. And then she did a whole taster on Joy of Business during that, and I was hooked. I was hooked to every word that she was saying, everything that she was talking about, because
Yeah.
it was from such a different space that she does this work.
Yes.
Because I at that time, and I still do, get a lot of how lucky did I get? A lot of people ask me if they want to do stuff with me, like in terms of business with me, or they want to start a different something, anything, work together basically. Asked her on the mic. I was just like, honey, I have this opportunity that
Yes.
someone's come to me with, and I don't know whether I want to partner with them, and I don't know if I want to do this business and stuff like that, and what would that be like. And I remember she, first of all, so where I was going with this, she's most unassuming, like she's brilliant,
Yes.
right?
That's it. That's
But
absolutely.
so down to earth and so unassuming, and we totally chilled out. Anyway, so what she told me when I asked her about this was something that is one of my favorite tools to use in not just business and not just work, but in life in general. Is that before you make a choice like this, before you actually go ahead and commit to a partnership or commit to starting something, yay, Smriti's here.
Yay! Yay!
Hello.
You made it.
Finally, I made it.
You made it. Oh, we're so
Does
sorry.
it get any better?
What else is possible?
And so,
Fabulous.
so we were just talking about Simone and Joy of Business, and I was just telling them I was there in one of her classes, the first one that taster that she did in Mumbai some 3 years ago. And in the taster, she mentioned I was asking her about what can I do when I'm trying to come up with a partner in a business, or should I even do this or not? And I remember she very clearly said to me that indulge the choice. So actually,
Ah,
get the energy of what it will be like to work with this person, and for 3 days, really stay with that energy. Don't just dismiss it. Don't just jump to any conclusions.
wow.
Actually, be like, okay, so I'm waking up and I'm going to spend my day working with this person, or I'm going to spend my day with this choice, with this business, with whatever this business brings. And I remember a very clear, sort of an energy on whether I wanted to work with them or not, because we tend to sort of glump something about a person or a business, all of it together, right? We think parts of it are good, parts of it don't work, but you know what, we'll make it work, right?
Right.
So when I indulged in the choice of actually working with this person, I began to notice the places where this would make me wrong for some stuff. I remember he would say stuff like, "Oh, you have such a big bag. How much baggage are you carrying?" Now, it's a statement that I just dismissed. You know what I mean? I mean, because we were talking about creating a beautiful, conscious business together. It was an alternate school for children. So it was a gorgeous run. It was a lovely project. Everything was amazing about it. But it felt so heavy, and I couldn't figure out where the heaviness came from. He was into consciousness. It was just a wonderful project. But on a constant basis, there was this superiority that, was constantly part of conversation. Like, how are you doing this? Or, are you, what have you studied up to now? Or every time I would go, I would have to sit in the temple in his house for a couple of minutes. And he was still an amazing
Wow.
person. But all of these little actually, when I indulged the energy as per the way she explained it to me in that taster, it totally changed it. I did not go ahead and start something that I very well knew within a year I would leave it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we have no interest in starting. We only do it because it sounds like a great opportunity. But ultimately, the energy goes away because we really don't have interest in that, or we completely were not sold on it entirely. The energy didn't match. The person didn't, was not a contribution, or the business was not a contribution. So that happens to be one of my all-time go-to favorite tools to use. I have to make choose some long-term decision, make a long-term sort of a commitment, and so that is definitely one of my go-to tools.
Yeah.
Smriti!
That's fabulous. Yes.
You
So,
want to jump in now, or can I ask EENA some stuff? She's been around.
yeah, Ina.
Go
Hi.
for it. Hi,
Just,
EENA.
it's just the amazing ease that has been introduced or is available and possible. Like just like this, that we can get Smithy on, and the ease that we have with that now available to us is like, oh, okay, just be present with it and be able to ask how does it get any better or what else is possible, and then kind of be present with the choices that show up and then choose and then say, okay, maybe I can do this and maybe I can do that, without the whole, we're not being able to get her on, what am I going to do, where is she, what do we do, and oh, this is so, all of that funkiness and wonkiness and dis-ease that I had started to create my business from, because I was getting so caught up in the deadlines and the reality of how that can even be achieved. There's so much more ease and space for me to have more choice with what is truly available here, and just even be able to ask a question as, if question can I ask here, that will create greater possibilities. So it's just, and when you are, how much of that is also a leadership quality where you can just be present in your life with that space and be able to be that space for your business, for your life, for creation. I don't say that I'm always like this, but it's so much more available and present thanks to the Joy of Business tools and the classes. And oh my God, amazing Simone. Just that, and that is what, that's the invitation that she is. She is this space of like, cool, what's going on? And where can we go from here? And what can we create? And what's really available to you? And what do you know? And without the rightness or wrongness or the goodness or badness of anything. Like, what if this was not wrong? Or what if this wasn't right? It just is. This is how it showed up. And now, where can we go from here? How can we use it to our advantage?
Nice. Yeah.
So, is Tulika stuck? Is she there? So, Smriti, what's it?
Yeah.
Smriti.
So I remember I used to like really struggle with my business. I've been a relocation real estate consultant, and then I became I kind of discovered my passion for designing jewelry and then home accessories, and I would be supplying to 17 stores, and you know, there would be just so much to do on the plate that it would get very overwhelming. And also, when doing that business crosses a certain turnover, you also have to deal with certain government authorities. And I noticed that I had decided for myself that I'm not going to cross the turnover beyond 55 lakhs, because then I have to deal with excise guys and all. And I just don't want to deal with all of that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I came into Access and I read this beautiful book, Joy of Business First, that's what I read before I attended the Business 101 class. And what I really liked, what really worked for me is my ability to receive everything. So I realized that when I am not willing to receive these people, whether they are government authorities, whether they are certain kind of suppliers, or whether they're certain kind of clientele, how much of my business am I cutting off? And that opened a whole load of stuff for me. And so I am willing to receive no show-ups at my workshops. I'm willing to receive criticisms. I'm willing to receive judgments, whatever. Not just receiving the good and the good and the great, but also the bad and the ugly. And the moment I can do that, I have seen my work shift. I have had, like recently, I've had people fill up my classes, and then there have been times when only one person has showed up, and then there have been times when zero has showed up. Some people have loved the class, some people haven't, and I can receive it all. And as a result, what I've noticed in the last 1 year is I am getting more and more people in my classes. I am getting more and more classes as gifts. I am getting a lot of other opportunities to do business. Other income avenues have opened up. And all it required from me was just to receive. I mean, it's like so simple and yet so difficult at the same time. And you don't realize how much you're blocking yourself just because you're not willing to receive that judgment, that criticism, or no one showing up for what you're offering.
Yeah, how true. I loved what you said, Smriti, about how we locked ourselves up from certain people, from receiving from certain avenues like the government officials. For me, it was the bank. I used to hate bank work. I used to hate the papers. I used to hate walking into a bank. I realized today how much of my business did I actually cut off by just blocking myself from receiving from them. you know. So which was like, yeah, wonderful when you start to understand that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you guys for actually sharing that. And um, is there any favorite like go-to tools that you guys have, which is just like that? I know that this will definitely change this with your business, with work, with anything that you guys just go like for sure.
I go to, how does it get any better than this? That's like my most favorite. I remember I was doing an exhibition and I told my sales girl, this was, I said, you know what? Anytime a customer comes to our stall, whether they buy or not, you've got to ask, how does it get any better than this? And she said, ma'am, that person will slap me if I ask them this. I said, no, no, you don't have to say anything to anybody. Just say, ask this question in your head. And believe me, that day, the turnover that we did at that exhibition was phenomenal. We all came back like all smiles. It was fantastic.
Wow.
So how does it get any better than this is one of my favorite go-to tools. In any situation for that matter, not just business.
Mm. Well, for me, actually, yeah, for me, it's a lot of light and heavy. A lot of, and also a lot, yeah, it's a lot of, whenever I have to make a choice about working with somebody or doing a certain class or anything at all, I always go with that light and heavy because I feel I have worked so much from expectations of, you know, if I do this, it'll happen. And if I don't do this, this will not happen because that's the way it's been told to me by society. But when I do the light and heavy, it just changes the entire perspective of it, you know. So I like to use that, yeah.
I must add something on that light and heavy. I remember I have been asking for this. I know that I see so many facilitators doing their business all over the world. And I used to like, you know, we have this concept of business has to be done from an office space in a particular city. You have to have a desk and all of that.
Yeah.
And I see all these people having so much fun. And every time I saw them having fun, like doing classes from wherever they were, I would say, oh, I'd like that, please. I'd like some of that. And, you know, I remember I was in Mauritius recently, and I just suddenly felt very light, like you said. I just felt very light about offering a particular class. And I felt very light about offering it online. And in Mauritius, sitting on that beach, you know, and the beach had like Wi-Fi. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Sitting on that beach, I created a class. And by the time I came back home, I had 52 sign-ups. And I came to Bombay for 3 days, and then I went off for another holiday to Lake Pavna, and I started the class from there. Just that following that light, this is a topic that I want to talk about. This is a topic I want to share something about. This is the topic I want to invite people to. I just followed that light energy, Chandana, that you talked about.
Yeah.
And that light created such a rocking, fabulous class. I cannot tell you. So
Absolutely.
that light tool is fantastic. And
Yes.
what I realized is, wow, I can sit on a beach, I can sit by a lake, and I can still do business. You know, how does it get any better than this?
What
Business
else is
now
possible?
is
Yeah.
fun. Business now is not fun before.
We do have a lot of point of views about, right? I mean, at least I did before. If I don't, I have to have an office. Like I kept thinking, you know, the reason my business is not doing well because I don't have an office, I don't have structure. If I don't go to office, I will not make money. You know, if I want to hire anybody, like, I have to go to an office. You know, all these reasons. And now most of us, like, I mean, my room in Bombay is like overlooking the beach, and you were on the beach, and all of us, and I know Ina for a month created more outside in all of traveling all over the US than she did in her office. Right? Ina, you want to tell us more about that?
Yeah, like for me, and a great contribution of Joy of Business and Simone Lassen, the way she actually creates, has been the gift of asking this every day as to how do I create, like how do I do things, and how does it work for me? When I started my business, like I used to always love creating since a kid, so I was always creating different businesses or different things. But when like my first business, when I started it, it was so much fun. It was like so chaotic. We were all over the place. Timing didn't matter, and we were always going out, you know, out of the way to really contribute and receive. And somehow we started like getting it into more structure because we were expanding. So we had to really get it right. We had to start doing it the way the serious businesses are. It became so boring. We expanded at extreme slow speed, which was pretty much burning me out. It did burn me out, where I had to take a break from it. But it was not a fun space to create from, even though I was doing something that I was so called passionate about. Because like, I don't want to design anything ever again, or do business, or deal with people. So it's all of this has like opened up this space of how am I with people? How does it work for me? And that ease without judgment. And like a really awesome tool which is popping for me like again and again and again recently is the three energies and people that you require in your business, which is connector, movers, and
Foundation.
and creators.
Creator.
So
Yeah.
really like for me to actually be present with, okay, which one is really more ease and joyful for me right now, and who else do I require to add? And at every stage of my business, just asking that question, and it's becoming more and more often, like almost every day, is as you're like growing up, you're like, okay, this is an area that I'm not being able to look at because of I am busy here, I'm doing this, and I'm creating that. So what is required there? And a lot of time, it's just this willingness to say, hi, who can really add?
Yeah.
So I guess the tool would be who or what can I add to my life today? Who or what can I add to my business today? Which has been like amazing. Like sometimes it shows up as an energy that someone else is being or some other business is being. Sometimes it shows up as the possibility. Sometimes it shows up as people. So it's this, and a lot of times it shows up as money, which is nice too.
Which is very nice.
Which is very nice. Oh, that's you. Yeah, so it's been a huge gift.
Cool. Does anybody else want to talk about structure?
There was something else, Tuli, that at least I go through it. I don't know about you girls, but there's just so much to be done at all the time. You know, there are like multiple projects. There's not one project that I'm working with. And then there are those days when one gets so overwhelmed, which mail to respond to, which mail not to respond to, who to call, and you know, it just gets so much. And the other tool that really helped me is that willingness to ask every project a question. As you know, which project requires my attention today? What kind of an energy does that particular project require? And that has created a lot of ease in my world. I mean, I know so many of us do so many things at the same time. And the other thing, like Tuli, I was exploring with you was how not to check out from any of the projects. So how can you like stay tuned in to every project? Does not mean that you have to be physically doing it, but how just being energetically tuned in and contributing to it creates so much. So this not checking out is something I have been working with of late, because I was getting very overwhelmed. So I just decided to expand my energies, because that's what we're capable of. And I have started speaking to all my projects. And there was one very fun thing that happened with asking questions to projects. So there was this, there's this property that we've been wanting to lease out for a while, and it was just not, you know, going. I mean, we were not getting the rate. And then one day I realized, I said, you know, Simone often talks about your business being an entity, a place being an entity. So I spoke to the shop. I said, listen, sweetheart, if you want to get rented out, you better find yourself somebody who's willing to pay the rent that would work for us as well. And within a month, we found a tenant and we rented out that place, and it's creating an income for us now. It's such fun. It's just such fun.
Wow. Yeah.
So tools in action. Tools.
Yeah.
They're so simple, right? The tools are so simple that sometimes, you know, when you tell someone to do that, they look at you and say, is that even going to work? It's like, but then that's the beauty of joy of business, right? It just makes business so exciting, so simple, and so much of fun. That drama's gone. That that pain from not enough, not too less, has just gone with, oh, what's right about it.
Yeah, and being able to look at your business as an entity with its own consciousness. That was something new to me, because business was supposed to work for me, business was supposed to generate money for me. I never looked at it as business being its own entity, having its own consciousness. So now it's like playing with a friend,
So true.
Okay, what can we do today? What can we create today? Where can we go today? Who could we talk to today? It's like, wow.
Very true. Yeah.
What's your Tulika? What's your very curious to know? What's your go-to?
What's my go-to tool? Actually, I think Smriti spoke about it. It was because I'm juggling balls, like most of my balls are in the air. If I can say that.
Which one divides my attention today?
Literally,
The left or the right?
I
It's all a game of balls.
it is a game of balls. Adulterated video for sure on YouTube. Parental discretion advised. So we were talking about the balls in the air, and I meant projects. I actually have tons and tons and tons of projects, and it is so amazing that the more projects I take on, the more start coming my way. It's amazing. I don't know how that works. I just know that it works. The more I have committed to these things, more committed to creating what I create, saying, okay, bring it on, great, let's do this, feels light, I'll add this one, I'll definitely be contributing to this, I'll organize it, host it, take up this class, whatever format the project turns up in, and if it feels light, totally go for it. And the more I seem to be choosing that, the more actually more and more projects seem to be showing up. And one would think at some point that you would say stop, or you would say no, or you would say this is beyond what one person can humanly do. And with the tools of Joy Business and everything that I've heard Simone say over the last 3 years, one of the biggest reasons I feel I can handle, not just handle it, I can actually even perceive that it's all possible, because of the simple reason that it's all about asking and being in the question. It's never coming to a conclusion that, oh, I can't do this anymore because I've already got 25 projects. I don't think I can take another or 5 more, or even 1 more. And we didn't. And so I'm not coming to a conclusion has definitely been my go-to tool for everything. And especially when it comes to creating your life, because if you've been demanding a life that is beyond the ordinary, beyond the regular humdrum of life, if you have truly been asking for things to show up, then they may show up in multiples, they may show up with multiple projects, and then you can't turn it around and say, hey, no, I don't want that because, I'm a one job person. If you have been asking to add things to your life, then they will show up maybe in multiple projects or multiple things. And then my favorite tool at that time, first of all, is not to go to a conclusion. Okay, would this create for my life? What would my life be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now if I choose this? And if that feels like, I totally go for it. And then one of the things that I heard one of my friends say recently on one of her hangouts was that if it is showing up in my life, what capacity can the universe perceive that I have that I can do this? I can handle it. It is showing up in my life. I have been asking for this stuff, right? So what if everything that's showing up is actually something that you've been asking for, right? And if your business is expanding and if it's growing, and Smriti, this is, I know we had this conversation about taking your energy out of something while putting into something. This is a muscle I'm building on, and I absolutely love that, this is creating really well for me, is that if the energy of being this, which is greater energy, rather than just more, rather than just on top of another, and do this ladder-like success, or this ladder-like approach to life or business or something like that we have, what is this whole expansive? What if everything can contribute to me, and what if I could contribute to everything as well? right? And so one of the biggest things is not coming to conclusion for me. Is not ever saying, I don't think I can do this. If it's showing up, even if you can say no. Nobody's saying don't say no. I totally have reached that place where I do say, okay, this is not going to work because something else requires my attention those days. But never from this space of I cannot do it. More in terms of it may not create as much as what something else might, right? And so and that only changed for me when I truly committed to my life and to really changing and looking at everything. So yeah.
And you created a class from that, Commit to Create, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
On that note, there's something, I have this book with me, Joy of Business, written by Simone, and in that she says, and I've like starred it. That book is very heavily underlined and starred. Okay,
so is mine. Yes, almost every line.
I tell you. So she asks, do you have judgments about what is and what isn't possible in business? And then she goes on to say, would you be willing to change the energy of every judgment or conclusion you have put in place and allow the infinite possibilities to show up for you and your business? Yeah. So, Tuli, when you were talking about, no conclusions, no judgments, this is what it is. The moment we let go of the judgments and conclusions, there is a space from which you can create much, much more. You can access the possibilities. So, are we even asking questions?
Yes.
Like, we all want bigger turnovers and we want more money coming in, but then am I willing to ask for it? First of all, what am I not willing to ask for that if I asked for it would allow me to have a business and a life that I desire?
It's and beautiful. Yeah. That's another thing that came to me when you said all of us want it, which was something again which came from Joy of Business. How many of us want the money? We want success, but truly, how many of us desire it?
Or
even willing to have that. That actually got me thinking about, okay, where do I want it? And where exactly am I willing to have that in my life? That was something.
So there's an exercise. There's an exercise in the book which Simone makes you do. What have you decided is impossible?
6 impossible things before breakfast. It's one of my favorite things that she's
Yes.
6 impossible things before breakfast. It's like, what are the 6 impossible things that you think? And these are the tools that we're talking about, and from Joy of Business. And Simone, I think this is a great time to tell people that Simone's coming to Mumbai.
Oh yes!
Yay!
So this is a plug for those of you who don't like it. You can, whatever. So she's going to be here from 27th, 28th, and 29th of September 2016, depending on when you're seeing this video, maybe. And Mumbai and Juhu, and she will be at Hotel Sea Princess. The first day is Joy of Business 101. It has no prerequisites, which means even if you've never done Access, have always wanted to get a taste of Access, and wanted to have a greater business and life and all of that, Joy of Business 101 is on 27th of September, and on 28th and 29th is Joy of Business 102, the Adventure of Business and Living, and that is also the prerequisite to that is to attend the first class. So if you're there for the first one, you can totally join us for the next 2, and we can't really wait to have her over, can we?
Yay! And the class is in Mumbai.
Yes,
the class is in Mumbai. At
the
Hotel Sea Princess.
Country. So I wonder what that's about.
Oh yes.
Mumbai does have gorgeous energy. So
what's beautiful about these Joy of Business tools is it's not just for the business. It kind of seeps into every area of your life. Yeah. So for me personally, it's kind of also made me start looking at everything, even like tons of things to do at home. I can now multitask at home very easily. I can contribute energy to whoever is asking for it at home, whatever is asking for it at home. Even in personal situations, how does it get any better? What have I decided is impossible? All these tools can be used in every area of your life, and it brings ease not just in your business. It brings joy and ease even in your other parts of your life, your personal life.
Absolutely.
Like Gary said, right? Yeah. Like Gary said, if you're living, you're doing business, right?
Absolutely.
You have a
You're in the
body
business of living.
for doing business. Like for me, that was like a big introduction to like, oh, it's not only business that I have a body.
Yes.
Yes.
And it can contribute. So, oh my God, I could go on about those tools, entire joy of business and body, and how that sort of contributed to my money flows and my traveling and my business. So, do not choose it.
It will be too much fun. Just don't choose it.
Yeah. True.
On another note, EENA, you talked about how Adrish came onto Access from the Joy of Business, like that. What a great invitation!
Oh yeah, that was so much fun because it was Adrish who actually started reading a book of Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, that was nicely sneaked in by my mother, Kamal, in our house, and then he was reading it at bedtime, and I would hear him every day say, "This guy talks a lot of sense. Wow, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, I could choose that." And I was like, damn it, I will have to read it now because, I had to resist everything that my mom was telling me. So, and which was like a lot of other modalities before that. But when I started reading it and I started like really using the tools, and being the tools really, it started changing my life so much. So I thought that Adrish had introduced me to this. So obviously he would go for every class, every choice, that thing that I make, every class that I listened to, which wasn't really true. So he had his own choices and his own path. So we started really left it at what else is possible. And strangely, along came Joy of Business and Simone. And that was a class that totally attracted him because he was in a space where he was really asking a lot of questions. He was an architectural firm, and he was really asking a lot of questions for it to be more fun and joyful for him, because it was becoming like, it was expanding and growing again, but it was not really like why he joined architecture, right? So he was like, we are doing this class, and that's how we started. Like, we chose the class and we hosted a pod for it. And it's so funny, like I'm just giving you like one example, like because he was so bored, he was like, it's got to be more fun or I'm quitting. And the next thing we know, after the class, we're driving back. He was in Chandigarh, and we're driving back, and we required like a whole lot of inflow of money. We were looking at while driving, we were looking at our financial situation, because that's a huge tool and huge part of Joy of Business, which has completely shifted for us. And we were looking at that, and we were like, what do we require to be present with? And we're like, oh, we require all of this. And we're like, we were just going into this space of, we'll have to work our way through it, and we'll have to really work on it. And then we were like, wow, that class was really about in receiving the contribution from the magnanimous universe. Like, it's there, it's available, ask and receive. And it can be that easy. So we were like, really? Okay, let's ask the magnanimous universe. It's out here, it's there. So both of us looked at each other and said, okay, magnanimous universe, we would like to know. And the next thing we know is we get a call from this person saying, who we were not expecting any payment from, anything from, saying, I have your payment ready, can you send someone to collect?
Wow.
And I got another call from someone else saying, can you raise the invoice so that I can send you the money? I'm like, wow, Simone knows some shit. So,
yeah.
Good job, universe.
Good job.
And you guys have gone on to win so many awards as well.
Sorry?
I said you guys have gone on to win so many awards as well. You've been featured.
Yeah, after that, and like he reached Delhi, and he gets a call that he had his new project showing up in Goa, and he's going on private jet, and he's like, my boy toys, I'm having fun.
Yeah. Business suddenly became fun, right?
And it can be created more business, which has actually, that's another story. But it has like expanded in 1 year with so much ease and elegance, like with zero budget and no capital investment. It's gone from creating its own capital to actually have a retail connection. So and we've just been asking how does it get any better than this and what else is possible, and really living the tools, not just reading them and saying them. I said that like 20 times, but yeah, it makes a lot of difference. Sometimes we are just saying it still works, but what else is possible? Oh, thank you for bringing that up, because that was such a huge contribution. And since then, Audrey like practically been teaching classes by getting
Awesome. How does it get any better than this?
Wonderful. What else is possible?
All right, guys. Anything else that you guys want to add before we close this?
Lots.
We could go on and on.
Oh my God.
Let's save this. Let's save this for 27.
Let's have Simone tell them the rest of it, right?
Yes, I know. Let's leave something to imagination.
How many give away right now? There's so many more that Simone can offer and that the class does. And I'm not just saying this to promote, but that's really like, it's like that. It is.
So we obviously haven't done, we've given you like just a sneak peek of how amazing Simone is and how amazing the work that she does and enjoy your business and the tools that have truly changed all our businesses. And if you you'll have our details probably along with the post that you see for this, and if or get in touch with on Google Plus itself or on YouTube, and we'll keep a lookout for it. But get on to www.joyofbusiness.com for any information. Access joyofbusiness.com.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, access joyofbusiness.com and or Simone Melissa's and another thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that Simone Melissa's is also the worldwide business coordinator for Access Consciousness, which is what we're all facilitators of, and there are some 3,000 plus facilitators across the world. And when I started 3 years ago, Access was in 40 countries, and I got into Access. Access came to India fairly recently, before which it was around, I think, 25 years.
26 plus years now.
Exactly. And when I started, we were in about 45 countries, and in the last 3 years, Access has grown to 180, 90 countries across the world, pretty much all of them. I know 170 plus for sure. So, and that has been a lot to do with Simone as the business head. So what does she know about business? What does she know about fully expanding your business everywhere that you can go with it? She really may have some tools up her sleeve that you haven't even heard yet about, going global, about global expansion, or at least I know I'll be asking questions based on that.
And really, not just about expanding business, it's also that you could have a whole lot of ideas, but you do not know how to create a business from it. So even creation of business from whatever you have right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if that's something that's inviting for you, it's something that makes you want to get up and go like, okay, gotta check this out, then get in touch with any one of us, or get onto Access Consciousness website and look for Joy of Business. You find a way to find us. Go on to Facebook. We're pretty much all over.
Yes, we are.
We know a few things about those tools and using them.
Not afraid to be judged at all.
Not at all. Bring it on.
Bring it on.
That's a great thing that you guys will learn as well, that it doesn't matter if one person was not on and they came on later and we're just like cutting in between, going and hi and all of it. What if there was no form and structure? What if you could just show up as you? And what if your business as well could show up as it wants to, not how you were taught or not how you were told how it is meant to be done? What if you could throw the rule book out and actually go with the energy of what business feels like and looks like for you? If you let your business be what it wants to be, what would be possible?
Yes. That is so
I'll have to give
beautiful.
up being a control freak, that means, right?
Not just you, Smriti.
It works.
Not just you, honey.
So while we work on being control freaks of magnitude or enjoy the hell out of it, that's also part of what we are.
Yeah.
You guys check out more of Joy Business, and there are lots of free resources and tools out there. So please get a taste of more if you like, and let us know. And we hope to see you in class. Yeah,
Yes.
27th
Look
September.
forward to that. Yes.
And the awesome thing about, I just want to add quickly, awesome thing about choosing these classes is that it's not just choosing, it starts creating a different possibility. Like the thing, choosing Joy of Business has allowed me to become so much more present the past 2 days, and a little confident about certain things that I was choosing. It's like walls are crumbling down, and I'm like, wow, now where can we go from here? So it just contributes to you in a way which is not entirely cognitive, but it starts from your choice. It's not from you actually landing up in the class, but also from that, but choosing it right now. And then seeing what that shows up in your life.
Awesome. So just choosing the class will give you the energy of the class already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the amazing thing about energy. It begins the moment you choose it.
How true. Yes.
Anything else? Anybody else wants to say something?
Well, we are ready to be in Mumbai.
Looking forward to seeing you all in
Looking
Mumbai.
forward to being with you girls.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you guys and playing with you and creating more.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
So see you all.
See you
All
all.
right.
Thank you everyone for joining us and for watching.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Have happy businesses. Happy you.
Happy you. Yes. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.